I'm interviewing June Tyler,
Faye Massey, Lorene Pritchard at her home in Price.
My name is Nola Hadley-Torres. I started to do these interviews as part of a history PhD program back in 1988.
Would you say a little bit about your grandparents' background? Would you describe a mealtime at your house?
A mealtime.
Would you just describe this one?
One of the largest in-citizen migrations in the United States were Appalachians migrating to the north after World War II. And Cincinnati had a long sustained record of urban Appalachian activism and organizations. And a lot of research had already been done. I was interested in finding out, how does urbanization affect Appalachian migrants, particularly women?
I just turned 13. I remember my first look of Cincinnati coming off that ramp, into Lower Price Hill. It was in January now. It was garbage day. Okay, so you can imagine how absolutely nasty it was. Well, it was almost like I was hyperventilating, because things were just so closed in and everything. I sure never appreciated hazard like I did after we moved up here. We had no choice because of work. A lot of those people were moving too. They hated to leave their family and friends, but they had to do it to survive, that kind of thing. So we weren't the only family, especially around that time, because a lot of the mines were closing down.
As a historian, we're very discouraged against oral histories. Oral histories are hard to validate. Did this really happen? What's the evidence? But there's a whole lot of the population that you cannot find a paper trail for. The other advantage of doing oral histories is you can get to what events meant to people.
When I came here, I didn't know that I was so different. I didn't know that I talked funny. I didn't know that people thought I was ignorant because I was from the mountains.
I felt like a real oddball, and my clothes didn't fit in with everybody else's. My old homemade clothes and hand-me-downs.
I forget how many interviews I did in whole. 28? Yeah, I think that's right. Most of the time, people were very welcoming, and, it was kind of more like you're sitting with your buddy. I don't know how to explain it.
I can remember being about 3 or 4 years old, maybe 5. I'd wake up on a warm summer morning, and I'd go into the kitchen, and Granny would be out in the garden hoeing, and she'd have this old wood stove, and she'd have on the back of it, back there staying warm, a big bowl of gravy and potatoes and biscuits. And I'd get me a biscuit, and I'd go out in the garden, and I'd pluck me a ripe tomato off the vine, and I'd sit down there in the garden without washing the tomato, eat the tomato and the biscuit. And Granny used to think I was weird, because I loved her biscuits with onions and tomatoes for breakfast.
I just wanted to get a picture of family life, and it was so different between narrators who lived in really close proximity to one another. Because people have stereotypes of all of Appalachia as being extremely poor, I just wanted to get a better picture of that.
And so we had this big old square house. It had 4 rooms.
I'd carry water, I'd work outside.
Do all the hard work like chopping, kindling, and digging coal and those kinds of things.
And then we raised enough vegetables to do us year-round.
I think over the course of the interviews, as I found out more and more about each of the women, I just felt so much respect for them. Almost all of them gave me information about being extremely motivated to support their families and their community.
I don't know if it's because I'm an Appalachian, but I've got something inside me that just keeps me going, because I have been through a lot, and I got a real sense of pride for where I'm from, who I am. Was ever going to make me ashamed of where I'm from? I'm proud, boy. I'm proud to be an Appalachian. If you call me a hillbilly, doesn't bother me. I'm proud of it,